Looks like I'm live. Let me just wait till I hear myself from my phone and. Oh no, I don't know if I can hear myself. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's like a whole 10-second delay. Can't I change that? Doesn't look like there's anyone in right now. Oh, there's people. Hey guys, I'm gonna try and change some settings really quick, so don't go anywhere. We're gonna go over the chapter together, and then go over some theories and all that good stuff. I would just like to bring down the. Oh boy. I think I have my buffering up to like way too high. Because ideally I like it around like 5-ish seconds so I don't have to wait for things, but it looks like it's more than. Nope. Yeah, I don't know. I might have to just fix it off stream. Yikes. Big yikes. Anyway. I do have the chat live, so even though I'm like 10 seconds ahead of you guys, I'll be able to answer you guys in real time. But yeah, look at all these people. We got Brood as the translator, the proofreader, and then Brood as I don't know what a TLQC is, so there's that. And then we got Buzz as the editor. Buzz as the editor. Yeesh. Dang, there's some major lag right now. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can. Because if I maximize this, I'm pretty sure it'll stop. It'll stop showing on the screen. Because that's what happened last time. But anyway, we'll keep it right there. Alright, let's see who's here. Buzz, you're here. Editor Buzz in the house. There we go. Zeldonics, Slick, message. Oh, okay. Thank you, Buzz. You said go to output. This helps a lot. Ah, okay. Replay buffer. Or translation quality control. Where is that? I don't see translation quality control, but see, look, it was at 20 seconds. But what? Dang. Yeah, I don't know. I can just fix it after. It's no issue, but thanks for pointing me in the right direction, Buzz. Okay. So let's take a look at this chapter. This chapter I think is one of those like setup things, right? Tabata's really good about this. Like he'll put out a chapter almost like Kaiju number 8, like his buddy Naya, where nothing major will really happen in the chapter, but there's a lot to think about because there's very subtle inferences that we can make off of certain things that are said or the way things are done. So, yeah, I just kind of want to go through. I want to say this. I was tuned into the Manga Against the World, Josuke's podcast, last night. And the one thing that I think, because Josuke and I hardly ever disagree, but I was so not having the whole, Yuno's drip is better than Asta's drip, because I think this time, Asta looks much, much better than Yuno, to me. Not to say Yuno looks like crap or anything like that, but Asta's look is super simple, and he just looks more mature. He kind of reminds me of, like, I put in the chat last night, like, he looks like the Count of Monte Cristo. That might be a really old reference for some people, but he kind of looks like a reestablished like pirate. Like, yeah, he still looks like he's part of that grimy Black Bull squad, but he does look good. You know, he looks respectable, and he looks like a young man. Like he looks like his next sword might be a rapier. Like he just looks dignified like this. I love the popped collar. I love, you know, the blazer. That looks so cool. And then the sleeve to top it all off just looks super cool. The sleeve giving it like that steampunk feel. Super, super cool. I really like this design. And I like that he didn't go crazy with like, oh, it's time skip, I really got to change the design. Like, no. Very simple alterations for both. Like, and I also like, I don't know why, but Yuno's grimoire holders are so cool to me, because like you have the normal one on the bottom, and then one is up just a little bit higher. Like, I don't know what that does, but it just looks cool to me. So I do like that. And I love the cape. I think it looks different, and I love the green on him. You know, especially with him having the wind spirit, it reminds me of the Berserk guy who had the wind spirit as well. I forgot his name. It's like Sir something. He was cool though, but he was wearing green as well. Okay, so the very first thing we get is the 7th layer of the Underworld, the very last one. So I would like to just say this. We have to, a couple things. So the 7th layer is supposed to have 3 supreme devils in it, right? Per Nox diagram. One of them, of course, being Lucifero, another being Beelzebub, and then the other one should have been, although I disagree, and this is still kind of what we're trying to figure out of like how Tabata is laying out this tree. Because even though Astaroth is or was a Duke of Hell, Astaroth is also not anywhere near the level of the 2 that I just mentioned, and is actually his triad is called the ethical triad. No, he's the magical triad. So first, when you look at I think I have it pulled up. No, I don't. Do I? I don't. Oh, yeah, I do. Okay, so if we look at where Hesed is here, Jupiter, or Gajabla here, that's where Astaroth normally is on a typical Qliphotic tree layout. However, it does look like Tabata is using Crowley's tree, which is a slight shift over, which makes more sense, because then he's placed higher on the tree, giving him more power. But this is a huge difference between this triad here and then the triad that he's actually in. So his triad never actually changes. But I say that to say this. I always throw around this word supernal, and that's the highest triad. These guys, and if you go back to the video that I laid out the Qliphoth, I tell you that these guys are physically incapable of existing anywhere lower than this. Like, this is as far as they go. Because in between all of this, it's better represented here, is the abyss. And so in order to get to the supernal triad or the magical triad where Astaroth is, you have to cross a literal black hole. And this is where the mage usually dies and gets rebirthed. On both ends of the tree. I believe on the Tree of Life, you actually die more times than you do on the Tree of Death, which is a very interesting thing. But yeah, that's the case here. So, as I was saying, with the 7th level, it would normally be either Beelzebub, Satan, and Moloch. That's another thing that we still haven't got any hints towards, is Moloch. But Satan and Moloch is in the Thaumael, in one sphere. And then we have what would be Lucifuge Rofocal on the typical tree. But on Crowley's tree, it is labeled as Iset Xenonym, which is the only female at this high of a level. But to bring Lucifuge back into it, Lucifuge on Crowley's tree is the 5th. On Golichab, or Asmodeus would normally be, but Asmodeus on Crowley's tree is completely Is he gone? He's either... No, he's not. He's really low, actually, right next to a Dramalek. So what happens with Lucifuge is that he's able to cross over from this realm, the Magical Triad and lower, into the Supernal Triad. And that's why Lucifuge is able to delegate and carry out the laws of the Underworld. So I think that's a really important factor here. But the third devil, it looks like, is probably Megicula for this particular layout in the series. But normally would have been Astaroth, is what I'm thinking. But in order to get here, this guy has to have used some kind of spatial magic, which is definitely getting me hyped because I've been saying for a while, I think him and Beelzebub are, to put it very loosely, at least working very closely together. However, I do think they are just about one and the same, just like Yuno and his spirit. But yeah, now I know there's a lot of speculation on, like, did he just fight Lucifero and, like, completely steamroll him? And I'm not sure because I haven't seen this part yet. But after this whole thing, that's when they give us, okay, 1 year and 3 months later. So this is fresh off of, like, the battle against Lucifero. So what I'm assuming is this is the other half of him. And I have to question if the damage you do to, like, a partially manifested Supreme Devil, in the physical realm, gets translated into the Underworld. It's kind of what it looks like. I'm not opposed to Lucius, being the one to get him to this level here. But here's what this is also telling me. So if we go down, they're having this conversation, and he pulls out Lucifero's heart and he eats it. We don't know if that was a singular bite or not, but what I'm thinking, at least, is that we see that he's got the little clock laid out below him. He's using magic. And I have to imagine this is some type of, not stasis, but remember what he used against Patri during his fight to stop all of those light swords of conviction. I believe he's using Lucifero kind of like in Hungry Joker, where Heidi takes a bite of the apple that gives him the power over gravity, and then what happens is that apple recovers. But we don't know if that's the case with, like, a devil's heart. So to me, what I would think is that he takes a bite to achieve more power from Lucifero, but then keeps him in this state and reverses it just enough so that the heart is whole again, so that he can come back to it and eat the heart again. So essentially, he's keeping Lucifero in this, like, torturous condition for his benefit, which makes him so much scarier as an antagonist, because this is the highest devil on the Qliphoth, and he's toying with him, he's using him. So I really love that about Lucius. So yeah, this part I haven't seen. So I possess the most powerful magic in the world. That's right. However, okay. So he's literally looking at his chest like he's pulling out his heart. Oh man, yeah, that's kind of intense. But yeah, he lifts up the heart, which does insinuate that he probably has some type of, gravity magic already, probably from eating the other half of that heart. So yeah, I really wonder, like, if he does eat this heart whole, is this just going to make him, the new host for that core, since he would have 100%? It's tough to say. It's very tough to say, but it's a very curious situation. But it does remind me a lot of Hungry Joker. And as I kind of posted on Twitter, this could be the very start of the Eurekas in Hungry Joker and how they obtain those powers. And while we're on the topic, I'm willing to put money on it that we're going to get a lightning demon, a sound demon, a mist demon, which I'm thinking is a Megicula in her more full form. And that's all I can think about right now. Oh, and a devil that can constantly evolve, which I believe is a Jamalak. But we'll see. Okay, so 1 year and 3 months later, we're gonna come back to this because I was thinking a whole lot about this, and I think there's a connection we got to make with this specific time. And then Asta getting his special extraordinary merit award and ceremony. Cool. I've already let out my grievances on how I don't like the fact that Yami is all the way out there and not the one actually presenting him with the rank. But that's, easy to let go. Ralph is unfortunately still alive for some reason. Kid just needs to go. He's a hater. And I also don't like this the father either. He's awful. So he's a senior magic knight first class. No clue what that means. I just know it's very high, and he deserves it. Potentially higher as well. But yeah, I really could care less. Like the goal is to become Wizard King, and if it doesn't say Wizard King, I really don't care. Or Vice Captain or Captain. Damnatio's sudden disappearance both prolonged the devil trial and slowed down our awarding process until now. And Fuegolean says all that and does not give one shit about Damnatio disappearing. That's fine. Although you've finally been acquitted, I can't deny that there are still many people who distrust you for using Power Devil. Very realistic, because after seeing that, this is something I mentioned in the stream as it was happening, or as we had got that chapter, that's something that people are going to want to or like take notice of, because yes, there's going to be a handful of people that go like, okay, we knew this kid was involved with devils, but he literally just saved us from the most terrifying thing this land has ever seen, with the devil's power. So he's an ally. Then you have another group who says, okay, yes, he saved us. However, what if that power turns against us? And devils, for the most part, are against humans. We might need this kid gone. So that's very realistic, and I'm glad that was introduced here. Regardless, you still deserve to be recognized for your merits. Perfect. I'm more than happy to just be acknowledged by the captains. Look at Asta's face, dude. He's so lovable. Like, I just want to be acknowledged by the captains. That's fine. And like, in the parallel that I saw Mick on Twitter make as well, was, remember Asta looking up, waiting for a captain to raise their hand, and no one did. And, Yami withheld his hand for a minute just to show Asta what life is like for foreigners and people with strange magic. No one wants any part of them. But now, look, back then they didn't want him. Now he's hot, they all on him. Like, Mike Jones over here. Really nice moment, because... And even though Dorothy's sleeping, it would be nice if she was awake for this one thing. After she should be awake. Like, the nerve of being asleep on, number one, Asta, the most lovable MC out there right now, and number two, to get off-screened by Morris, who got like 2 panels of a battle against the Black Bulls and just died. Like, you're really... Yeah, I don't really mess with Dorothy anymore. Like, she used to be one of my favorites, but now she's sus to me. I don't like her. She's trash. That's all I gotta say. Before I move on, let me look at the chat. I know you guys are talking in there. That arm thing is so drippy. Yeah, its body somehow draws him super mature. Yeah, Buzz. Absolutely. Rapier Asta would be super dope, right? Yeah, meshes the leather, perfect. How do you say that name? Phobic Cheeky. Okay. What's going on, Shelly? I still want to know how strong 100% Lucifero is. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna find out through Lucius. If he becomes that, like, the new host for Gravity. I assume that he would embody the full power of Lucifero, plus the added factor that he's human allows him to evolve that power. So we're going to see well over 100% with that logic. Kardik. Jack, how do you think the Dark Triad got the respective devils? I kind of answered this in like one of the previous videos. I'll give you a too long didn't read version though, okay? So I do believe that it's either one of two things. Lucius split himself into the Triad, into the three, and became the Shadow, the Jungian Shadow, or that those three are specifically different mages, but manifested differently. So, to explain that a little bit better, Lucius is Xenon. While Dante would be, I don't know, but the closest person I could give to him is Noct's father, who looks exactly like Dante. And then Vonica being either the Witch Queen or Noct's mother, which is really weird, I know, but we really don't know that history, and there's still a lot of things we talked about last stream that don't add up with Noct or Morgan. And I've said in other videos that I believe they were a failed attempt at a perfect body, and they might not have been expecting to have these twins come out, which ultimately hindered that process. Because in alchemy, the point of achieving perfection is to be able to, and not outside of metalwork, of course, is to separate the soul from the body without dying, and then bringing it back to the body. And once it's back after separation, that makes the perfect body. So it's either one of those two things. As far as, so if we just go with the first one, which is pretty much what I'm leaning towards, Lucius already has a great aptitude for hosting a devil. He told that to Xenon, and he told Xenon, you have a better aptitude for hosting a devil than both Vonica and Dante. So if he split himself, then he would have three beings that are literally him, who would all respectively have a great aptitude to host devils. And since Xenon is closer to who he is, who I've labeled as the self in the Jungian archetypes, he was able to host a much greater one. And though Satan, yes, is the strongest, Satan is definitely irresponsible. The pride comes in, as we kind of see in the fight, where Beelzebub, in almost any text that you read, is very reasonable and sound in every decision that he makes, and will not move until an opening is brought up, or they're able to capitalize on something. More on that later, but that's essentially what I'm leaning towards. So, since they're part of Lucius, they're able to make those huge contracts. Shelley, Jack, I'm thinking that the whole chapter could... Yeah, Shelley, I was just going to say, everything was going so perfectly, and it seems like it is a dream. And it's funny, because every time we've seen Lucius for the first time, for me, I've never given that chapter, like, that whole thing was real. Like, there's something going on, and it could very well be mind magic, you know, like everyone's saying. But I don't think this is fully real. It's so, like, it's picture perfect. Every single thing. He proposes to Lily. Like, this is what Asta wants life to be. And it's just too good to be true. But we'll keep going. Let me get through the last couple of comments and then we'll go. Oh my god, the Hungry Joker thing is exactly what Broku and I spoke about. Yeah, Broku and I have been talking a lot about it. And it's funny because I think you were still reading Hungry Joker. Broku was working on his video where you mentioned that he was going to mention Hungry Joker. And I was going to mention Hungry Joker in my video that I was going to release. And Broku and I were pretty much on the same page already. He just thinks Hungry Joker came before Black Clover. And I think Hungry Joker comes after Black Clover. But I think we'll also get a very brief crossover where we'll see Hungry Joker form in Black Clover or vice versa. Yeah, I'm curious what you think about the 15 months. Yeah, when I get to the end of the chapter, I'm definitely going to explain what I think about the 15 months. Phobic Shiki. Alright, got it. No, you're good. Alright, okay. Cool. We'll get to it. So truthfully, you deserve to be awarded the Grand Magic Knight title. And I'm sure he doesn't really care. It's frustrating to be below but neither of us have achieved our goal just yet. Right. So, like, he just means, like, the goal is our goal. It's Wizard King. All these other titles are cool, but, that one goal is what means everything to the both of us. My record as the youngest Grand Magic Knight has been broken. Good. Well, then, enjoy chatting with everyone. Okay. I also like this, because remember the last time Asta was in the situation? You had Fuego and Nozel going at it. Neighbor and Solid and Alec Dora were just going off, actually attacking Asta. And now look, they're together. Like, I just like how far everyone has come. But, like me and Shelley were saying, it could be, all a dream. And then I heard that Captain Frigolian, Captain Nozel, and Mario Leona are all nominees to become the next Wizard King. So they're gearing up for another Wizard King. That has been put on hold for now, as all of us have declined. So Nozel declined Wizard King? I'm glad William wasn't even mentioned, by the way. Like, screw him. But, Yami wouldn't want it, of course, but damn. Yeah, no, this lends into, like, the whole dream theory, right? Like, why would Fuegoleon and Nozel, of all people, turn down this? Oh, okay. I should have kept reading. The Battle of Devils made me realize that. See, look! That's everyone. Everyone look at this. Screenshot it. Start putting it on Twitter, because this is what I've been saying. A lot of people have been saying this. Fuego was so useless in the Spade. It was so ridiculous. And I'm glad he actually admits that. Like, yes, he was inadequate. And even though... I'm not saying Nozel is inadequate. I'm saying, like, Nozel against Lucifero did a lot more useful things than Fuegoleon did. But if he even arrived at the fact that he's inadequate, I've got to respect that, I guess. But hoping it's a dream. And his sister doesn't want to bother. Yeah, of course. So the fact that Mario Leona was even considered kind of frustrates me. I really don't like her as a person. She's just awful. The Spade Kingdom and the Heart Kingdom, and finally, almost completely recovered. Okay. Cool. That's cool. We don't care about them, though. Especially the Heart. They suck. I do want to know what's going on in the Spade, though. I kind of lied. Our continent may be at peace for now, but we can never be too careful. I mean, can we go down the list real quick? We got Yami, Forn. No, let's start with Charlotte. Charlotte's got a whole family that allowed her to get cursed by some lady trapped in a cage of time. No one really talks about that. Like, literally no one talks about it. Like, hey, Julius has time magic. Didn't you get trapped in a cage of time? Like, no one wants to talk about that for some reason for Charlotte up here. And, we just let her be cursed. Well, think about, like, how screwed up people are in this series. Charlotte literally got cursed. No one really did a thing. Yami happened to stumble upon her. But then Asta loses use of his arms for, like, a day or two. And they're like, no, we gotta, like, scour libraries. We've got to go sell our soul to the Witch Queen. Almost die. Like, they bent way over backwards for Asta for his arms. And they did, like, nothing for Charlotte. She's self-made, pretty much halfway cured herself. Like, crazy. We got Jack, unknown origins, crazy magic. Honestly, like, his magic is not talked about enough. And the source of it intrigues me a lot, but the lack of limelight on Jack kind of makes us not care, but I do like his magic and I want to know more. But there's a lot of oddities up here on this panel, right? And Dorothy, with the peacocks, you have a Dramalek that is directly attributed to peacocks. So... And the fact that she knew about Megicula and the history that Megicula had with the Silvas, but didn't bother to approach, like, Noelle sooner, or even tell anyone else, that could have helped, that had the power to help, what was going on. Like that, she kept that to herself, and I hate that a lot. So I do think she's very sus, though. Very sus. Nozel is the best one up here. Like, clean. Even though he started out as one of the worst, I think he's like a very solid dude in and out, especially now that he's not cursed. Then we have Fuegolian, who's inadequate, no longer a diss. It is just what it is. And then we've got Rill, who is, he does his thing every now and again, but we don't question his magic either. Like, it's not even just rare. It's one of a kind. And what do we know about one of a kind magic? Like, Julius was the only one with time magic. Just so happens that Rill is the only one with this. And then, of course, if you want to count his elf with scribble magic, but, it's just very weird. You have William, again, his magic. So strange. Like, Yami was up here talking about, they don't like people with strange, unexplainable magic. Dude, you got dream magic, just magic that keeps adapting and cutting everything. This bitch is cursed. Like, what are we talking about strange magic? You all have strange magic except for Fuegolian. Like, it's ridiculous. It makes no sense now that I think about it. Then we've got Yami, who's got dark magic. Enough said. But strange thing is, so this is going to be a point later on in the video as well, that it seems as though Yami didn't know what his magic was up until he got his grimoire. And he was looking very, very depressed about it. And I believe it even says, like, he's saying, like, dark magic, huh? And, like, he's not really happy about it. So, I think there's something with these... I guess I could put darkness on, like, a celestial type of magic, like star magic, where it's not realized until a later point in life for some reason. Yeah, very, very strange. But yeah, sorry, I keep sidetracking. I want to get through the chapter. Hopefully you guys don't mind the little tirades I'm going on here. But yeah, inadequate, yes you are. The Spade Kingdom and Heart Kingdom, yeah. Okay. Even now, we're seeing demonic activity around the borders of the Clover Kingdom. It's probably where Dramalike is, or I would say escaped demons, but I'm pretty sure Lucifero took care of that for us. Having proven themselves thus far, along with the Golden Dawn and the rest of the Black Bulls, have been sent to investigate. So, my thing is that I'm thinking Noct is out there with teaming up to figure this out with Mario Leona, probably. Because you would probably need a captain tier mage. Not to say or Noct is not there, but Mario Leona is definitely more apt to lead a battalion or a squadron. So I think those three are out there right now, which is dope because if there are devils, you have someone who can just incinerate them all, and the rest are arcane and whatnot. So it's and got a lot of magic, so it works out. All you guys showed up today just for the sake of our Brad. Thanks a bunch. One of these days I'll get around to slashing him up. That'd be an interesting fight. Charlotte running away, probably still nervous. Charlotte's been acting funky ever since we got back from Spade last year. What's her deal? Did I do something? So, yeah, he didn't actually catch the confession, right? Yeah. Even though she confessed to you when you were on the verge of death, well, he didn't really catch it. He wasn't conscious for that. So, that's kind of weird that Finral was on him. Is there really nothing going on between you two? And you know what? The key thing, Asta was able to sense that Charlotte was in love with him, but he doesn't. But that kind of lends into my Belphegor theory for Yami, where Belphegor is sent by Lucifer to see if there's any such thing as true married love on Earth. In France, in particular, is where Belphegor went, and of course Charlotte is a French-derived name. So, very interesting stuff. I'm going to take a potty break. So, So just thinking about it on the toilet. Nice. That's where Belphegor does a lot of his thinking as well. Uh, yeah, okay. That strange feeling from her key, that was love? I don't get it. This is some heavy Belphegor signs, you guys. Maybe Lucificus is actually Belphegor. Who knows? So she ran away because she's too shy or something. Seriously, for real? She just gonna be like this from now on? Women, man, women. How much longer are you gonna be on the toilet? We're about to. Why is Finral rushing Yami? Like, does he not know who Yami is? Let the man shit. Now, oh look, he's gearing up. He sees her. All right, today I'm. Wait, why is Sekre in bird form? That's so weird. Weird flex. It's fine. We're progressive around here. You live your life how you want to live your life. Ever since I realized my own feelings for Asta, I've become too self-conscious to have a proper conversation with him. Kind of whack, but I get it. Gotta keep up the tsundere things. Ever since then, protecting and supporting Asta has been all I can think about. Good girl Mimosa. I'm neither here nor there. I don't care about ships unless they actually mean something. Sekre. Dude, Sekre. So Sekre instigated this. I didn't know that. How amusing. This is kind of scary, right? Because, like, the fact that Sekre was named Nero, who is a known Antichrist. You got Lucius, who I do believe is an Antichrist. Kind of weird that you got this whole black background for something so, with there's a lot of levity in the conversation. It's weird, and it could just be like, Tabata being silly or whatever, but it is still kind of weird. Not to say she's evil, but you never know with Lucius in the mix who's he got to, who's friend, who's foe. Especially if he was all the Wizard Kings. Imagine if he was somehow Lumiere as well. She'd probably side with him. Just saying. Please marry me. This is a really cool shot, by the way. I really like this. Sister Lily looking all kinds of thick right now, though. Not gonna lie. So is Asta, right? Before I get canceled, it says right there, I've turned 18 years old. This will be the last time I propose. I will definitely make you happy, so please. That's such a sweet thing to say, right? Really have become quite the young man. However, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's a nun. He looks so distraught. You're like family to me. I'll only ever see you as a brother. So you got lamp zone is what I call it. You're just a lamp to her. I cannot marry you. People were complaining about this, but I think it's good that they both heard this because they have heard hints of like Asta said himself, like there's one woman that I'm saving myself for, essentially. And he never said by name or who it was, what she looks like, or anything like that. He just kind of left it at that. So if they both hear that, and Asta held on to this since we've known Asta, and he finally gets rejected, that means the next person he sets his eyes out on is going to be a sure shot. So if he decides to go for Noelle, that's it. If he decides to go for Mimosa, that's it. If he goes for Rebecca, that's it. But the thing is, the fact that they heard it means that awkwardness that they were talking about just before this, how Noelle can't even have a conversation with him or anything like that. Mimosa hasn't been able to approach him much either. Will probably make them want to step up to the plate so that they are the only thing Asta sees. Asta sees the interest, and hopefully he is interested back. And that loyalty that Asta has will just make sure that it happens in the future, She apologizes. Asta, you're like, yeah, we got that. I cannot marry you. I understand. Until now, I didn't want to give up, but I know sometimes you can't change how people feel. Said it on Twitter. I don't like that he said that because he's changed a lot of people's feelings, and people were saying like he's only talking about love, and it's the same thing. And that kind of insinuates like if he's just talking about love, then he'll never love someone else. Like No. Feelings do change. Over time or by some kind of force, they change. So please witness this vow of mine that remains unchanged. I will become the Wizard King. I like that shot of Asta. It's a determined smile, even in the heart of heartbreak. And Lily, just looking at the resolve. It's still the same Asta. It really is. Asta, you really are amazing. I'm sorry I've never said this before, but I feel like I can. I know you can do it. Yeah. I mean, everyone was kind of like, I don't know if you could do it. You don't have any magic, remember? But it must feel good to actually be able to say it with confidence. Like, yeah, you got the one thing you got the antithesis of the one thing this world runs on. Of course you got it. Yeah, and then Lucius walking up. Here it is. Okay. Congratulations making it this far. But this is the end. So, and of course he's got the half mark on his forehead. So, I want to talk about this mark and what I think it means. And it's going to go back partially to the time frame here, which I think is important. But before I do that, I do want to look at your chats. I don't like ignoring it. So, we'll see. Maybe 15 months? Okay. So are we not sure that it's 15 months? Is that what you're saying? And then Shelley, I believe Hungary Joker could be a prequel to Black Clover. I can imagine Heidi could be reincarnated into Astaroth in Black Cloververse by sacrificing himself, trapping Mavros in Underworld. But why would he reincarnate as Astaroth if he's got the apple of gravity? You know what I mean? Phobic Cheeky, you're not wrong. She kind of don't give a fuck about anyone's feelings. She just want to throw hands. Yeah, Mario Leona's a crap person. I like Mario Leona because she's a bit unique and doesn't act like the... True, she doesn't, and I do like that about her as well. But like I said, it's not really like her character. I just hate like who she is. She's just awful. Shelley, I think the chairman of the White Jokers, that is Lucius, has imprisoned the remaining humans who's evolved into Eureka's in a world that is a lie and created by Lucius. Okay. Sadmir, Jack, do you think Lucius is the time devil himself or just a host? He easily went to the 7th level of the Underworld, probably the devil. I'm still struggling with that myself. Because there is an aspect of... So, I'll say this to start off. I feel like Julius was Astaroth himself. And then the fact that Lucius was able to get into Julius's body, I've got several theories I've only talked to Broku about. Just not feel confident enough to like release it quite yet. However, I am comfortable enough to say this, is that when we talk about the Order of the Fly, which is, it has to play a very heavy role in this coming arc or saga. Because the main rulers of this, the runners, are Beelzebub, Lucifer, Lucifer, Beelzebub, Satan, and Astaroth. Those are your big ones. And of course, Adramelech is in there as well. But he's not as high as those guys. Thing is that Beelzebub is said to run it. And the reason that is for one of two reasons, depending on your source. First reason is the fact that a lot of philosophies relate Beelzebub to Lucifer. So Lucifer and Beelzebub are the same in a lot of cases. In other ones, Lucifer is not even in hell at all. And as I've explained in other ones where I do think this is more so the case, is that Lucifer acts as the god of the dark tree. And what that means is that he doesn't exist within that tree. He exists outside of the highest point, which is the Thamael. Just like Lit would not be God in this sense. He holds the throne of Keter, which is the highest point, but above that is the actual God, the source of power. So Lucifer would be the source of power, while also this God, or the demiurge is what it's called, does use means of like pleroma and kenoma to descend into the world of the living to better influence things directly. So I say that to say this. With the Order of the Fly, there is an aspect of Legion. So Legion is a very important devil in the Bible. However, it is not a devil, it is devils. So I think what's going to happen is that he's going to be a conglomerate of all of the kings of hell. You're going to have Astaroth, Beelzebub, Satan now, and maybe even Lucifer if he does get that far. But I do think the rest of these guys are loyalists to Lucifer, so I doubt that he's going to aim for Lucifer, when Lucifer shows up, which I do believe is Libe. But that aspect of Legion might be there, and I keep in the back of my head that that's what it's going to be, and it does represent the Antichrist in that way, because the Antichrist, I'll go back to the tree here, is right in the middle, connected to everyone. And if you look at the Tree of Life, this is where Ril's elf sat, was right in the middle. And what this does, it gets all the power and likeliness of all the other spheres except for Malkuth, and is able to utilize all of those attributes like Ril is, right? So I think it makes sense that they become Legion. It's a more physical thing rather than those conceptual just attributes and likeliness. So I kind of lean toward the whole idea of Legion and DNA magic for Lucius and all that good stuff. Let's keep going. I think Lucius ate Osteroth's heart. I personally don't think he did. I think there's some sources that tell us that Astaroth is the devil of the vision. And that's very important. Specifically bifurcation. Because once a mage of the left-hand path reaches Astaroth, they have to prepare themselves to go across the abyss. Again, the abyss is right before this supernal triad, so it's called Dot. And that's where the mage will die and lose part of himself. Because in dark magic, the point is to become one solid self, and then celebrating duality. And it's the complete opposite, where you accept duality here. You don't accept it. You start off as dual, but then you end up becoming one with God or the demiurge on the light tree. So again, fundamentally they work the same, but they are more or less opposites. And even within the Qliphoth itself, it turns itself inside out constantly. So it even works against itself, making it the shadow of its own shadow. It's weird. It's very hard to explain. But I think it is possible that Astaroth found a way through potential power to divide himself, to be able to reach the world of the living, to be reborn as a human, as humans seem to be superior, just like Lucius said, because they can evolve their power. They're not static. They're not stuck at one power level like all these other devils are. And that's where humans are different. So I think Astaroth, as well as Beelzebub, saw the value in becoming human and probably went through whatever lengths, respectively, to make sure that they became human. Or at least were attached to one. Nero's not evil, she's just a menace. Yeah. Instigator. Lucius got his demon air forces on. Yeah. I'm not really digging this fit. Like, I don't know. It just looks... I don't like the long robe. That's what it is. Yeah, I don't know. It's like saucy, but then it's like not. It's like, damn, Grandpa's kind of dripping right now, but also I would never be caught dead wearing that. I don't know. It's just like right in between for me. Lucius' symbol is the Dharma wheel in Buddhism. I've not heard of the Dharma wheel. I'll look it up. But I will, of course, disagree with that just because we don't get a ton of Buddhist references here. Not to say we never will. But it is just a black sun, and I'm going to show you in just a second. So you said Dharma wheel. Curious what it means. That's a wheel. What? I spelled it wrong. We spelled it wrong. Okay, let's just look at the meaning real quick. The circle, the round shape of the wheel, represents the perfection of the Dharma and Buddhist teaching. The rim of the wheel represents meditative concentration and mindfulness, which hold practice together. The hub represents moral discipline. I would disagree. Yeah, it looks like more of a wheel, and there's no depictions of it looking more like a sun other than the inside of this one. But I will show you guys this. Chemical. Ooh, gosh. Misspell. Sign for gold. I've shown you guys in other videos. Is this and this. So here's my thing with this symbol. Before I get into like any of the other fringe theories about it, is that it's supposed to represent gold. Because that is perfection in alchemy. That is the perfect metal. What they were striving for was either gold or silver. That is perfection. So if he loses all of those rays, he's stuck with this one, which is the actual sign that they use all the time. However, this one is not excluded, but is not a perfect match. You know what I mean? But still, the sign of gold, the sign of perfection. So I think it leans more towards that. For me, that's at least just what I think. And I could be wrong. I have been wrong on many occasions. Do you think Lucius had something to do with the Qliphoth event 1,000 years ago? That might explain how he can freely travel to the seventh layer of the Underworld. No, I just think him and Beelzebub are connected. I think that's how he got there. One of my theories about that symbol was that it just kind of tracks how much power he's been using. Because that's no easy feat, going from the physical realm to an entirely different dimension, and then the lowest level of that dimension. That's a really, really heavy burden to bear there. So it could mean that. I did have another theory about each respective ray marking a specific span of time. So we kind of talked about it in stream. I think I made at least 2 or 3 threads about it before we were even mentioned, before Osroth was even mentioned. But time doesn't exist, right? And I have to look at it like this. Tabata is obviously well-versed in a lot of this stuff, science being one of them. And it's a popular thought that time does not exist. However, cause and effect does. So, what I mean by this is that instead of manipulating time like, oh, it is 5:30 right now, I'm going to reverse time so that it is 4:30 to make it an hour behind. Instead of doing that, we're manipulating cause and effect. Or prolonging them, or keeping things there, keeping them in a stasis. So what I was thinking was that he's kind of tracking these moments because this span of time that we're witnessing could be very important as to what happens next. So if anything needs to change in any one of those 8 moments that he's been tracking, he can go back and manipulate it. But he can only manipulate those events and nothing outside of that. Again, it's just another one of those complicated things to like discuss. But the main point here is that it's like a marker. If you guys do like editing post video, you can put a marker on something that you want to come back to later, and you can manipulate the film that way or the sound or anything like that. But yeah, that's one of them. I want to keep going through your comments here. I'm sorry, guys. I think Heidi has gained an ability to manipulate time itself. I can imagine he uses his power to predict the future and get himself to reincarnate. Yeah, but Shelley, how would he get to be like the user of time? Is what I'm asking you, right? Because I think it's very important to just like when we think of theories, connect everything. So like you gotta backtrack everything you know, make sure it like lines up, and then in the future, how does it play out and does it still make sense? I see what you're getting at. You want Heidi to be Asta's father, which would be Astaroth. I think that makes sense. But to be time specifically is what I'm having like a tough time with, because he obviously only works with gravity in Hungry Joker. Not to say that gravity cannot manipulate time, because that it can do. But again, to be just time specifically when he's been only using gravity, doesn't quite make sense, but maybe you can change my mind. I think you could explain that Heidi has become this version of Asra. I think Black Clover World could be based on lies that Julius created, and everyone is stuck in a time zone. I think me, Buzz, and Broku, and WK Minato were talking about this in our chat. That's when I proposed that the entire continent could be in a monozone, manipulated by time. Because if we go back to like that panel of Julius saving the entire kingdom from Patri's Swords of Conviction, the scale of that magic would have normally required a monozone, and there was none specifically stated. So I was thinking that it's possible that they are all in a monozone and is able to be manipulated anywhere. Because just like in the Spade Kingdom, Julius was so far away. But we obviously see Asta, Yami, and Nox being manipulated by time, even though they're so far away. And the only time that can happen is within a monozone. But then again, devils do work by different rules, and their power is definitely more potent. So it could be as simple as that. But yeah. Yeah. This chapter, very cool for a lot of reasons. So back to the 15-month thing, I was kind of wondering if these rays are more so tracking more physical time. So the opposite of what I was saying about cause and effect, where each ray is in control of however many months. I believe that would be like, 3-ish months, maybe a little less. And once he uses that power, it's gone for at least a while. He would have to recoup that power, which makes sense, because if you ask me, time is a much more valuable power than everything else. As far as if you're wanting to incite change, it's not a destructive power. It can be, but it is more so to manipulate the end goal of something, which is much more valuable than something like gravity magic, where it does nothing but destroy and hinder. So that's kind of my thought on it, and the timeline does add up to, like, again, this very first panel with Lucifero and Lucius takes place right after, like, we see him in the last page. Another thing about Lucius, he's using this grimoire, right? So that means he's able to freely move between this grimoire and then the grimoire that we saw, which is really interesting. I feel like this is, having no origin at all means that it belongs to a devil, which obviously would be Astaroth. And the fact that he only had one page with no origin, I think it makes sense. Then the grimoire that we saw, it could be his, but it could also potentially be Beelzebub's, I feel. I'm really kind of leaning into this Legion thing. He's going to want all three powers, like I said in my master plan video, that if he gets all three, he can do anything he wants with reality, which is a huge thing. His only other real opponents would be anti-magic and fate. So you'll also see in that video, I have him shipped with the Witch Queen because she saw that fate was moving before they left the Witch's Forest. And I think she was able to recognize that, okay, Lucius might be playing in the background here. Let's let it play out. She's not a woman to just let go of an endeavor. She wants Vanessa's power. And she even saw in her crystal ball or her divination that she was going to get that power, that Vanessa was going to come back. And it might not have been that exact moment that she saw. Or if it was, it shifted. And she's still going to come back. Because the only way to fight someone who can manipulate reality in any way they can, and do things like time travel and things like that, manipulate causes and effects, is to combat them through fate. And if the Witch Queen happens to be on Lucius' side, then they have both the powers of reality and fate completely against them. Which means anti-magic becomes the only real threat. Which then makes sense as to why he would pull up on Asta the way he did, saying that this is the end for him. Now, it's complicated, because I do have a part of me that thinks that he finds Asta valuable, but then there's a bigger part of me that thinks that Lucius finds Liebe more valuable than Asta. And the plan here is to kill Asta to be able to free Liebe and the swords as well. So that kind of goes back into the theory I've been saying for a very long time, that Liebe is Lucifer, which would be the head of the Order of the Fly. And this would mean that even if he wanted Liebe's power for himself, he couldn't have it. Because then he wouldn't be able to have gravity magic, spatial magic, or time magic. So it's so absolute that it has to be respected. And this is kind of the point I've been trying to drive home for a very long time, is that Liebe's power is not just some happenstance. Asta might have been just a random occurrence. Liebe is not. And he's got ripped wings for a reason, and he's got to be Lucifer for me. Now, I've also been on the spectrum of him being the Earth Spirit as well as Sandalphone, which are one and the same, on the light tree, but Sandalphone can also fall into demonic state. That's a much more complicated thing, but it's also in a video that you guys can just watch yourselves. But it's one of those two things, and I do really fully believe that Liebe is Lucifer, and they are looking to complete the kings of Adam, as they call it, or the kings of hell. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just thinking about what I just told you guys, and I know it just sounds so wild. And there's just no better way to explain any of this stuff. I'm so tempted to just, go to Pixar and just, kind of rehash like what the Qliphoth actually does and what these devils do. Because it's important to be able to visualize how the underworld works. It's very interesting to me because it's not as straightforward as the Tree of Life. I don't think I need to log in for this, do I? I do. Alright, well, I don't want to. So, there's that. Continuous jack. Sorry. I'm just going to be drawing like lines and stuff. It shouldn't be crazy. While this loads up, let me look at this chat. Abdumalik, is it Abdumalik or Melek? Malik. If we're all brushed up on our etymology here, Malik means king. So Abdumalik, you could be the king. Kind of livid I missed out on a whole hour. It's been an hour already. Oh my goodness, it has. I'm thinking Heidi could gain time magic from Chitose. Wait, what? Wait. Okay, you got to make that part make sense for me, Shelley, because Chitose can unleash like the potential of people's powers, without the hindrance that they would normally get since they're human, or at least partially in Heidi's case. So, yeah, I don't know. Really hope Liube will turn out to be like Sandalphone and Asta. Like, yeah, I like that theory a lot too. I definitely think we're gonna get Asta's Metatron for sure, like absolutely for sure. Upload. I don't know why I had a huge just brain fart. Okay, let's use. I should have like several. Here's a fun conversation. How do you guys say Qliphoth? You guys say Qliphoth like I do, or Qliphoth, or like everyone else has been saying Qliphoth? Kind of, it's becoming like a pet peeve. I don't know why people say Qliphoth. Not to say I don't say things wrong. Like, when I say Moloch, it's Moloch, but I think Moloch just sounds better. Alright, so let's zoom this in a bit here. Oh no, I don't want to lose part of the picture though. So let's go back. I don't know if you guys are able to see this okay. Hopefully you are. I'll zoom in as much as I can. Oop, wrong way. This is going to be very important. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on the screen because I want to expand this, and this has a tendency to cut out when I do so. So I'll keep an eye on it. Okay. So we're going to start from the top because that's the flow of power, the normal flow of power. Where are the drawing utensils, guys? Come on. Edits. There we go. I haven't used the online version. I've only used like my phone for this. Oh yeah, no, see? That's why I can't do it. I'll go back. Got it. Okay. I don't need the tutorial. Maybe I do, but I don't want it. Can I draw? I can't draw. Come on. Well, what are these editing things? That's not editing. What in the fuck? Elements. It's usually down here. Oh my goodness. Sorry, my computer's deciding to wake up apparently. Batch. No, I don't want that either. Elements? Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, we'll use this. So, here we go. We'll just use the simple... okay. Alright. So here... Come on, turn. we've got. Let's start here. Let's start at the bottom of the supernal triad. So Aishat Zenonim is what we see. Aishat Zenonim is known to be 3 people at once, and that's important. Again, with Black Clover and what I was saying before with Astaroth, Astaroth is known for the bifurcation aspect that he brings. So, for this to this is just commonplace with almost any deity. They exist in more than one place at the same time. Even with humans, as you would read in Dante's Inferno, a version of us exists in hell, as well as in heaven, as well as in purgatory. It's just how it is. And, of course, a version of us is on Earth. Or not in purgatory, but yeah, on Earth. So, oh no, it's not going to bend. Fuck all of this. Okay. I'm having a time right now. So I'm going to delete this. I would just rather draw. Why can't I draw? Anyway, you guys are smart enough. You guys will keep up. So, you have Aisha Zenonim here, who is 3 people. The 3 people that she is herself, Aisha, and then Nama and Lilith. They are all the same. Now, there are some texts and philosophies that do separate them. However, they do come back as one at some point or another. So, she's known as the crone goddess. And then you have her lower form. So, this Lilith down here is called Lilith the Younger. Now, Aishet is also known as Lilith, but she is known as Lilith the Elder. Sometimes they have it switched. Really doesn't matter that much. However, Aishet, her mate is Samael. Now, Samael is a different name for Beelzebub here. And they make kids. And their kids are Belphegor and Kiowa, the Antichrist, and the Lord of the Dead, and Darkness. And this is called the womb. So Aishet also gives or rebirths mages that make their way up to her, so that they're able to meet the Dark Father, Beelzebub or Samael here. So her lower selves are very close to the physical realm, Nama being the closest. And I think it makes sense because Aishet is at the bottom of this triad. You'll see the Roman numerals. The higher the number, the lower they are, which means the weaker they are, essentially, if that's how you want to frame it. Not necessarily the case, but it makes it simple. So it makes sense that she's closest to the physical realm. We move over to the Dark Father, Beelzebub. Now, there's a lot with Beelzebub. The fact of the matter is, even though Moloch is here, the worship of Moloch was actually the worship of Beelzebub. And that is on record. So the Greeks, Romans, Sumerians, Assyrians, all those people that did child sacrifice, anything to do with weather and fertility, was all Beelzebub. And that also lies in with Baal, who's usually where Asmodeus is. But Crowley took him out because I believe that he saw the redundancy in the rest of the layouts of the Qliphoth. Which I think is a very smart move. But to further this, right? Say Baal is there. He is the next closest to the physical realm. But then he also is Moloch. And that's where it just kind of shifts. Because his 3 places aren't exactly laid out like Aishet's was. It's not as clean. Because he could rank higher as Moloch, but then he also does manifest as a part of the Antichrist here in Tegirian. And that's important. Then we have Adremelech, which is a really unique case. Because as I was saying with our friend Ali here, the word Melech means king. And when these devils made their, I'm going to say titles, because these aren't names with the exception of a few, they're titles. So what they would do is they would pick and choose what they would want to do. So like our buddy Lucifuge over here, took his first name and made it like Lucifer's, but he knew that he does not like the light. So Lucifuge is Latin for one who flees from light. His last name, Rofocal, is supposed to be based off of like another demon called Folklore. But another reason for his last name would also be just Lucifer backwards, which is kind of weird. It would be spelled oddly anyway, but that's what they say. But back to Adramelech, he's got the word Melech in there, meaning king. He's magnificent king. Now, here's the big kicker. That's the only devil aside from like his sibling, which is not a huge devil, that has that name within their own. Right? You look at all of these; they don't have Melech or Moloch or anything like that in their name. So it is believed that even Adramelech is Beelzebub. So it's just so hard to comprehend what's going on and to see where Tabbat is going with Beelzebub in particular, because there are so many devils here that are just simply Beelzebub in a lower form, or just worshipped incorrectly and placed incorrectly as well. And as I was saying, you would have Baal in this tier here, in a normal tree, not made by Crowley. But Baal is definitely just Beelzebub. And they just had no idea how to address him. And so they put him here, which is very odd. This also, if we cross lore, is the realm of Loki, the trickster spirits. So there's an amount of trickery that goes with this, which also, again, aligns with Beelzebub, because he's actually psychologically related to the Jungian shadow, as well as causing confusion within the minds of magicians who seek him out. That is literally what he does. He's also the god of war, fertility, and weather. So he's related to Thor and Odin as well. Beelzebub's everywhere. Then we have Satan and Moloch. Now, Satan is a particular case here, because this is not your Lucifer. This is not Lucifer. This is Satan. So, Satan isn't as spread out, if at all, actually, on this tree like everything else would be, or these other guys would be. And I believe that has to do with some sort of pride issue that is attributed to Satan. However, Lilith the Younger is mates with Satan, and also kind of Asmodeus, which is incesty. I know, that's just how it is. But Lilith, having Satan as a consort, actually produced a full-bred demon, which none of these people are here. None of these are full-blown demons. Except for... No, Kaio is a beast. No. So, yeah, Asmodeus would be the only one. So, they made Asmodeus, who is a full-bred devil. He's not fallen. There are some philosophies that do have him as fallen. But in this tree, in this philosophy, he is not any part angel. He is a full-bred demon, the son of Satan. And they even go as far to call him Little Satan, as he is attributed to fire directly. So that's why I'm very curious as to what his magic will be in the series if he's introduced, because Nama already had a pretty intense version of fire magic. So for Asmodeus, who knows? But again, it's very important, because this whole abyss here, Dot, is the reason why these guys have to separate. So I go back to what I've said before on Twitter. The trees, respectively, are... We'll use the Tree of Life. It says a lot of things at once. Not only is it a tale of mythology, a tale of how demons and angels exist and how they operate, but it is also one of the first renditions of the immediate galaxy. in how it operates, which is why in that picture that that we see here, it has all of those symbols. That's every planet it's attributed to. And you'll see that in Dante's Paradiso as well. As he ascends through the levels of heaven, he literally says that he went to the moon, met so-and-so. He went to Mercury, met so-and-so. He went to Venus, met so-and-so. And ends up in Pluto. Where, again, this is a huge thing. In Judaic magic, there is no magic in Keter. That is the biggest thing. Which is why I need the whole Metatron and Asta thing to happen. But anyway, you do see that in multiple sources. So here's what I wanted to show you guys. The abyss or dot on that acts as a gravitational lens. So, oh, what the hell is going on? This is not the one I wanted. This is probably the one I need. Come on, load it up. So as you see, you have this huge band of light hitting this gravitational lens. So what happens is you see the reflection already. And how that translates to this is that, where is it? Right here. So when Keter goes towards the abyss, again, it cannot physically go lower than the abyss. This dotted line that you see, that is as far as it goes. However, it is reflected on the other side as Tiferet here or Tigirian here. So this is why when we look at scripts about Jesus and relating it to the Tree of Life, Jesus is Tiferet and not Keter. Because Keter would be the closest to God, but not able to reach the physical realm, whereas Tiferet is the Messiah, whereas Tigirian is the Antichrist, which is the direct reflection, or the closest but watered down version of what is above. And that's very important to understand here. So when we see Lucius do all these things, and if he does turn out to be in the sphere of Tigirian as the Antichrist, we're going to see a lot of this here from all of the highest devils. And they might get channeled through him. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know in the chat if it doesn't. I'll be more than happy to clear things up. Because it is complicated. It's very hard. Which is why I'm very particular about theories on devils in particular. There's very intricate jobs that they have and very specific things they stand for. Now, we do see Lucifuge here, and like I was saying, Crowley moves him from here to here. However, he does explain that Lucifuge does rule the Satariel as well, despite being below the abyss. And that probably has to do with the power of darkness that he would have, because darkness in esoteric rules has its own rules. It doesn't abide by anything everything else abides by. Darkness has its own set of rules, and it's even acknowledged in science, which is why we can't figure out some of the stuff that has to do with darkness. Naked Game XYZ, very cool anime adult game. Oh my goodness. Why are you guys on the stream? You guys should be playing those adult games. Okay, Shelly. Jack, do you think Lucida would be Archangel Leo? No. I don't even know who that is. I've never heard of that. The only divine being attached to Sandalphone is called the Shekinah, which is the wife of God. And if and when Sandalphone does fall, or the Shekinah is stolen by the forces of hell, then she becomes perverted and becomes the wife of the Underworld, or Samael, which is Aishet Zenonim. I have a whole thread on that. I can link it to you on Twitter if you want, Shelley, or we can go over it on here. But Aishet, or the other Lilith, the oldest Lilith, or the crone goddess, is directly linked to the Shekinah, who's directly linked to Sandalphon and Metatron, and is also paralleled with Pandora from Pandora's Box. Who else? There's so many in all types of lore that she's connected to, but it's ridiculous. I list them all out in a thread. Might be easier to just find that, but yeah, I don't know who. I can try looking it up so that I can have a better understanding of what you're saying. Lael, Archangel. Did I spell it wrong? Okay. Did you spell it wrong? Is it Lael? If you wanted the angel of death to pass over your house, you must kill. So is that who it is? Lael is the angel of death? Because if it is, I would disagree. Samael is the angel of death, and Samael is a complicated situation just because Samael didn't fall like everyone else did. It was just preferred that he stayed in hell, but still worked for God. And as we know, Samael is Beelzebub and also Lucifer. So I would just fundamentally disagree with it. Not saying it's completely wrong, but personally, I would disagree with it. But correct me if this is not the right thing that I looked up. I got all that from TCB scans, by the way. If you guys are curious, but I'm sure you guys are on point to all that stuff. Sorry, I just want to see what's going on up here. Man, dude, this is what I'm talking about. My Twitter's mostly just in Spanish. Anything that I search, yep, Spanish results. Yeah, all of this. I don't even know what it says. He's probably saying like, "Damn, dude, this guy's stupid as fuck." Okay, Elijah Lowe. I don't think I've seen you in this chat at all. See what you had to say. I'm surprised Lucida has never brought up Asta's father in the thought. What reason does she really have, though? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, I guess she could. As easily as she could have, she easily could not have. She's never really had a reason. But I see what you're saying. What single mother with a deadbeat does? Yeah. I honestly prefer the black magic sort of way of looking at what Lucida is, where she didn't actually have a husband. She's like a Virgin Mary of sorts. However, on the left-hand path, when the mage reaches the Thaumael, and if they choose to go back to Earth and not fully attain their godlyhood and move on to another universe, they are reborn from a barren womb. And that's specifically what it says. So they essentially birth themselves, which is what I'm hoping is happening. Because one of my least favorite tropes, growing up with anime for so long, I'm ready to see something different, and this is now the opportunity to maybe people won't like the Jesus thing. I don't really care, but it is definitely different, and it has enough sources to back up why it would happen like that. Ollie, I'm surprised she never tried to give him to his father. Well, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're assuming a lot for Lucida, right? Because, okay, let's say she does have a physical husband, right? Or, hookup, sperm donor, and he's human. We don't really know what Asta was going to... I don't know. Because then she'd be putting the people at the church at risk as well, right? If Asta were going to steal life and magic from them. So I guess that doesn't make sense. But let's say he's not human. A lot of people think it's Astaroth, so it's a devil. How do you reach a devil? You have no idea. You know what I mean? And then you have, if it's an angel, How do you reach the angel? You have no idea. And this kind of plays a part into like Greek mythology. Gods literally came down in varying forms, knocking up women left and right, and then leaving. So a lot of them were bastard children. These demigods that were being raised were fatherless. So I think it makes sense that the dad is either not human or that Asta at least birthed himself. For me, at least. Okay. Broku, I was just going to ask you about that. Wait, so is it on Webtoon or are you live right now on your YouTube? Because one of the things I wanted to do with this channel is I want to read your series with everyone. But yeah, if it's... Just tell me where to look. Also, Art's birthday is today, so if you are friends with him on Twitter, wish him a happy birthday. Actually, I'll do that right now as I'm waiting for Broku to... got your link. Shelly, I'm going to look at it in just a bit here. But I like to wish Art a happy birthday. Killing the husband mid-stroke. Could have been. A lot of people have died during and after sex. So it's a real thing. Happy birthday to the best thumbnail creator / webtoon artist in the game. Thanks for all you do, and hope you get all kinds of drunk. Which he is right now, so I'm not just saying that. I asked him to make a thumbnail today, not knowing it was his birthday. And he sent me a picture of just like a bunch of bottles in front of him. He was like, I was like, oh shit, okay. Happy birthday. I always forget to tag Art in just various things. But, Art, doesn't it? Is my computer lagging? Yes, it is. Okay, the tag, and then we gotta throw a GIF in there. There's no such thing as a happy birthday without a GIF. And you guys should know me. I only speak in GIFs. It's my language. I've also got a message I see. Broku, where do I go? Where do I go for this live webtoon thing? Party. While I'm waiting for my computer to not be slow, if you guys have any questions about, like, I don't know, anything, or comments, death threats, let me know. I'll address it. That's the one. I like that one. I was just watching Night at the Museum with Vince Vaughn today. There we go. Should I look at my drafted tweets? Oh, you guys wouldn't be able to see them on here, though. Get back to the live on my phone. Oh, that's what you just sent me. Okay. Okay. You guys are going to sneak peek at my messages. And all of the... Oh. No. Okay. There you go. Okay. Atto Shadow. Can we expect Megicula also having a second heart? Yeah, absolutely. If anything, that the chapter did, it definitely showed us that Megicula's alive and well still, and probably not as banged up as Lucifero, since she only had a third of her heart destroyed. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, cool. We found this. So for those that don't know, which would be stupid, Broku and Art have been doing this webtoon, and this is Broku's creation, but Art's art. So and we already know that Broku's all over like Norse mythology and stuff like that. So I kind of want to go through this with you guys, and I'll go back to Black Clover after. But like, I think we should definitely support, like, Broku's been in the game for such a long time, and I'm sure he's got a lot of value to like give you guys that would make you interested in a story that he's got to say. So let's see. Helheim, the world of souls, a realm created by the dreams and wills of the Asgardians. Their own universe, allowing them to escape from death itself to continue an endless war and defense against the Jotnar. Like it. Ooh. That's a pretty saucy tree out there, too. Let's see. How many realms are there? Should be 9. Let's see if Broku's on his stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I only see 8. Hold on, did I miss one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh. Broku, explain. Okay. The tree of life, rooted in the essence of creation, planted by the sacred ancestor of Asgardia, Buri. All of Helheim rests on its branches. Please, Yggdrasil, guide me. I like it. And this has art all over it, too. Like, even the tree looks like the tree that was just on my thumbnail. I love this. Yeah, that looks so good. Once but a sapling, it grew from the magic and care given by 3 generations of men. Oh, that's a nice design. So this guy's an elf, okay. So this guy is from Elfenheim, I'm assuming, right? Odin, whoa. Once sapling, you grew from magic, okay. Odin Borson, the source of most of its growth. Now man and plant, both gods in their own right, prime the power that can end the war. Ooh, okay. So this would be some spectrums of light. Okay. So we got a brother coming in. Oh, I like... Dude, these designs are dope. I like it. Okay. They and Villy. Am I saying those right? They and Villy? Okay. So we found him. Is that intentional? Like, the shadow has his scar on it. That's his scar, right? Yeah. Oh, it's on the other side. They look so evil, but so pleasant. Do not bend the knee to me, brothers. Okay. We know familial things in, like, this mythology is... They're always fighting. Always fighting. What was he grabbing? That's inside the tree, right? Okay. Today the war ends. Ah, you grab the staff. So yeah, okay. Just like Odin's got a staff too. So, and his name is Odin, right? Oh, spear. In this spear resides the collective power of our ancestors. We will not feel defeat. Got it. Mirheim. Okay. So Ymir's one of the giants that created the universe, along with Surtur, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, Broku. Home of the first Jotun, right, okay. Are you certain this is it? We saw him. He's just over there. He is the sky. He's got the 2 ravens and everything, okay. Okay, we got Odin in almost full effect. I see he's got 2 eyes. So he has no runes, I'm assuming, right now. Because he did sacrifice his eye and himself to himself for the runes. Right? Okay, we'll see. And does he have Fenrir by his side, or both the wolves? We'll see. Okay. Ooh. I like this constellation. Has a mustache. That's what I like. He looks like one of the cool guys at the bar. He's just slightly confused. So, okay. Oh, wait, what's going on? Oh, whoa. Mir, Lord of Ice and Fire, Champion of Light, Herald. So, oh, okay. I see what you did. So, and again, correct me if I'm wrong since you're here. So Ymir was the sky, and he manifested in physical form like this. So while he probably still is the sky in the moment, he's also there physically to be able to interact with them. That's super cool. I like how you did that. You've let this war rage for too long. Your neutrality can no longer be tolerated. Yeah, facts. As guardians. Oh, they're sweating. But are they sweating upwards, like in Black Clover? Because that's when you know trouble's about to hit. When you sweat upwards. I don't wage wars. That's a really good shot, by the way. This right here. This is cool. I like it. But you allow this slaughter. Your inaction forces our people to die in mass. So that's a really good line, because inaction is just as bad as inciting an action that is not good, right? So much bloodshed that flesh formed into rivers, drowning the orphan children left behind. I wonder if those rivers will come into play. Then take that matter up with them. So this guy just doesn't care. They spin their own word, bear their own wills. Dude, Art's been working so hard on this, bro. Jeez. Wills of rage that cannot be reasoned with. Oh, that's the spear. So, is that lightning? Oh, wait. What is going on? What are they doing? Wait. So, okay. So they all are imbued with this power, right? From that spear that they got from the tree. A brander from an Asgardian. This power should prove to be interesting. Okay. Got it. Ooh, his armor's wooden too. So is his armor from the tree as well? And then the crows are a part of this, right? They're attack. Oh, so this guy's massive. He looked like he was just like their size for a second, but he is massive. Okay. Oh, I like it. So they're setting him up for the shot, is what it looks like. 2 close range attacks set up for the long range. And it doesn't look like it's doing much. He's kind of chilling, right? Oh, but the spear. Okay. Yo, what's going on? Okay. It's as if he folded. Okay. He folded time space to stop the attacks. His vaunted power of destruction. I get it. Okay. I was wondering what was going on there. So it's like 5 people did not show up to this fight. Okay. Oh. Okay. So he's just a different type of guy. Ooh. I like. See, it's just the small details that matters, guy. So like, left eye. I'm assuming is ice, while this one is fire. And that's what started the whole universe. Ah, there it is. Yeah. Interesting technique, but it's just a shameful imitation of creation magic, a power that I founded. Ooh. Okay. So this guy reminds me of another like mythological figure that also is going to play a part in Black Clover, called the Horn Deity. So that's interesting. So what's he cooking up? We got all types of just like, looks like magic just coming in. That looks like anti-magic right there. Ooh, see, that's that Black Clover feel right there, where it goes from like colored to like just straight up lines in black and white. That's how you know the final blow is coming, or a big one at least, right? Oh, what is this? He holds up 2 fingers to that? I'd be running away. I have no plan. Okay. What was this? It goes into the... Okay. And then... Jeez. So just that one blast was just cataclysmic. Or apocalyptic, rather. Good lord. What is this power scale going to look like, Broku? We're starting out here. Oh, he separated himself more? Okay. Is the limit of himself 9? Is he able to split himself into as many realms as there are? Your power may be immeasurable, and your ability to create and destroy is unrivaled. But you don't have... This is a really, really nice piece of art right here. I like that. Bifrost. Duh! Why didn't I think of that when I first saw the rate? I knew it was something going on. Bifrost. Okay, there you go. Bifrost. That paltry power that was merely... It's funny because I think Shelley or someone else in here said that he kind of looks like Lucifero. And to say that that power is paltry kind of lends into that, right? And then he's probably about to get mopped up right now by Odin. So we'll see how Lucifero-like he really is. Alright. So we're coming in. Fighting still. Was that a swing and a miss? Yeah, it was. Close, though. Very close. Oh, wait. No, I got him. Yeah, oh, that definitely did tag him. Okay. So he's bleeding. Wait. Not a fatal blow, though. Where did that hit? Is that just like a shoulder? Was that his arm? Oh, yeah. Doesn't look fatal, though. How do they end this? Ooh, the smile. Looks dastardly. What's he gonna do? What? What? Wait. Explain. What just happened? So he's going in for an attack. His attack meets the Bifrost. But it looks like he's still rushing in. But then he gets his teeth just like rocked. What hit him? He's still going. See, this is how Finral should have been using his powers. I've been saying this for so long. Create the portal in front of your fist. Make it so that it comes out somewhere else. It's so easy. Such an easy clap. Could have boxed Dante like that. You really thought it would work again. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you sent that elsewhere. Another big attack. That looks like Veto in that frame when he starts going ballistic. Oh, here's the fist. Ooh, he got caught. You can still choose to end this. End the war for good. Yeah, he got caught right there. That's like some key right there. Did he know it was coming like that? I knew I shouldn't have underestimated you. Nobody has the right to doubt the Aesir. We are... Oh, then he says very fun. Though the war has just begun. So this guy's just grimy. He's not good by any means. And it's the inaction that makes him evil. But also fighting against these guys who want to stop a war is also evil in and of itself. Okay. Alright. So yeah, this is Broku's series that he's doing with art. I want to keep up with this. Because, like I was saying, I do want to cover this on my channel and, try to support people that have been supporting the community. Broku has a wealth of knowledge in this area, too, of, like, Norse mythology. So, there's going to be some really interesting things happening. I already know that. And, yeah, I'm just curious to see how Broku would write his own series, especially with Black Clover being his favorite series. You already see the similarities happening, but of course this is very heavily Norse derived. So I think it's going to be really fun. And I think it's so cool that like those types of mythology or philosophies or religions are so much more interesting than the mainstream ones. Until you start getting deeper into them, of course. But very interesting. Family fighting, abandonment, revenge. It's got it all, dude. It's like a soap opera. It's so cool. But yeah, Nine Fates. This is the prequel, right? Yeah. For the contest. So what do we have to do anything specific for the contest? I'm not sure if Broku's still in, but if we do, you gotta let us know. Because, like, do we have to vote for you or what? Creator message from Broku. Thank you for reading our call to action comic. It was fun to make and see all of the great competition that's been made in the time since the contest went live. Congratulations to everyone who submitted, as finishing an episode of a comic is an accomplishment on its own. That it is. That it is. I remember one of our first conversations, he had mentioned he was writing something. So that was a couple of years ago. So I'm glad to see something coming out of it. It's really good. I like that. All right. As I was saying, so it kind of went over the. We can we can close this. My computer's. What again? Okay. Like I was saying, I kind of wanted to go over just the theories and stuff, but also wanted to see what other people were saying as far as the newest Black Clover came out. Oh, you are here. And the first two chapters of the main series are also out. We'll continue production on that soon. It's just a prequel for the contest, though. Nice. Okay. And so the first two chapters? Well, wait, that's not on Webtoon. Because I did read the light novel that you sent me, right? Is that what you're talking about? Get off of the screen. Okay. Yeah. Let's see what people are saying about Black Clover right now. Should be on an all-time high. Hashtag BC spoilers. Let's see it. Watch it all just be in Spanish again. Okay, so the tradition of Asta getting blitzed is so long ago. I mean, he didn't really get blitzed, but yeah, bro. The things you guys hype up sometimes, like he didn't even get blitzed. There's going to be a better version of what he's trying to say here. Jeez. Nice coloring. I like it. Okay. So it's 40% popularity, 60% judges. So anyone going and reading, liking, commenting, you're able to like that? I didn't see anything like that. I'd have to log in. I don't even have a account with Webtoons. So I'll make an account. I can like it though, right? Oh no, I have to sign up. Okay. I'll definitely wait. I can sign in with Google. Like. So yeah, if you guys have a Webtoons account, like and subscribe to this. Jeez, my computer's not letting me with the stream up. So I will make one late, like right after the stream, Broku. Make sure you get that like for you though. Need that. Okay. There's a lot of blue in this picture. I don't know about that. Shelly, I did a steampunk theory where the Black Clover story will go. Nice. I'm not very familiar with steampunk, like, at all. I just know the style. That's all. Mimosa's always with the Bulls. Might as well change your squad. I mean, yeah. She supports them. She just follows Asta. What is this? This is so cool. there'd be times if I had like a legit series, I would definitely have a burner account where I would just like type in like hashtag ABC spoilers and then see what people are saying and or coloring or drawing. If I saw this, I'd be hiring this dude to like draw on our team. That's such a good like wallpaper. Um like father like son, yeah, right? Except Asta should know. He knows the key of love. So he should know that. Whoa, that's nice. He should know that Noel and Mimosa have deeper feelings for him. But you know, you can't have it all. He looks. If Austin becomes Jesus, can sister Mary then? I don't know. Probably, I guess. Oh yeah, if he becomes Metatron as an angel, that would be the time. That would be the time. Uh, yeah, this is the best design by far, by far. Nice drawing. Okay, all right. No theories though. Lucius is about to show Asta the power of his father. I disagree. I don't. Is We're gonna find a new character next chapter, and everyone's gonna be like, "That's Asta's dad right there." I was. uh, um, Oblivious, dude. Everyone loves Oblivious. Like, no post goes unheard. He's just dropping like 500 like statuses. Like he could fart in the microphone and people would be like, "Bro, Oblivious is spitting again." That's just who he is. What does he say? Lucius's presence is already insane and he's only been active moving for a single chapter. I'm unbelievably excited for him. Yeah. I mean, he went to Lucifero right after the fact and rolls up on Asta. Like, he really does not care about anything except his agenda. And that's scary. That really is. Fuegolian knows it's bullshit. Yeah. He also knows he's inadequate. Huh. Yeah, okay. See, this is why I'm in the business of like theory making. I really could care less about like how people feel like romantically. I don't care. Um, but everyone seems to be so hung up on that. There, so many cool things happen in this chapter, and we're hung up on Astel and Mimosta or whatever you want to call it. Everything about this feels vaguely familiar, down to the very scenery and location. Uh, it's the Clover Kingdom? What is this supposed to mean? Like, that's not the same place Julius was fighting Patri. Is that what she's saying? Because if it is, that's not true. They were clearly on the roof. That's not the same place. Yeah, how did we get this as the same place that Austin and Lily are at? So I'm talking about hyped up. For what? It's not the same place. I mean, it's the Clover Kingdom. I don't know. That's nitpicky. Helix, does it ever get said if the Sisters of the Cloth are international? Because because then Mars and Fauna were also orphans. Um, I don't think it's ever explicitly said, no. But I think it's safe to assume that they're spread out. Because remember, they do train to some extent. Um, I really like this drawing. Um, and then are sent out on, like, I guess, assignments. So they could be. Very well could be. Okay. Saw someone say that BC fans waited 3 months for this. Like, we literally saw Asta have one of the best developments in the series. It's only the introductory part of the arc, so it's understandable that Tabata focused on these kinds of things. I never once saw anyone complain about that. If anything, people are just like really hyped about it. I think sometimes we embellish a lot on Twitter. We embellish a lot. Um, Thus ends the tale of a very disappointing villain. Okay, see, this is what I hate about like this whole Lucifero thing within the community. People are always saying Lucifero is like such a lackluster. He's supposed to be. Like, that is the point, and that's a theme that's been happening from the beginning of this theory that or series that I've been pointing out for a very long time as well. Is that devils were never really supposed to be the issue. It's always been humans. When we go from atrocity to atrocity to atrocity, what is the main focus? It's humans. Who are the ones that cause it? It's humans. Who are the ones that allow it? It's humans. Humans are the villains. So to expect that Lucifero was going to be this huge villain was just honestly really I was going to say immature, but it's not immaturity. It's just like you're not seeing the bigger picture if you really thought Lucifero, and still think that Lucifero should be this huge deal. You know, not say that he wasn't supposed to be, because to some extent he is, but the main idea is that, like, Lucius right here, it's in literally in the panel that they're using. Well, not in that panel, I guess, but the next page that this person is using, that humans have more superior magic. That's the point that we're supposed to be getting, that we should have been getting. But for some reason, it doesn't click for 227 people. And so I don't understand that. The complaints are invalid to me. Real Tabata knows ball cause this be me. I don't. What were you trying to say? Tabata knows ball cause this be me. I have no idea what that was supposed to mean. 196 people do know what this means, though. If you're one of those people, let me know. I don't know what you're saying, Nick. Zinx, my boy Rill. Rill's cool. They've been there from since day... No, they haven't. Nash has been hating since day one. Lily favored Yuno. This guy is just likes Asta because he's around Yuno. And that's it. And this kid couldn't even talk. Like, I hate these day ones. Part of your flashbacks. In the chat. Let's see. He got outsmarted. That's it. Yeah, Lucifero got outsmarted, and so like, that's something I believe I even posted on Twitter. From the actual source from a book that I have, from Cornelius Agrippa, from all of his studies. One of the things that he was led to is that demons are specifically described as like oafs, which means like they are very much only about power and not so much intellect. Even though they are smart in things like the Goetia or, other esoteric philosophy. But all in all, they're really just about power and nothing else. So, yeah, it's he only got outsmarted as he should have been. Yeah, it isn't the weather, and it's about people making worse decisions. I'm not sure what that's in reference to, Shelley. I'm sorry. Broku, also earlier you said that you didn't know what it meant for Asta to be senior knight first class. It means he's the same rank as it. Oh, I didn't know that was a vice captain's rank. That's good. Awesome. But he's not a vice captain, correct? Because I'm assuming Noct is out there by the border with Yuno on that mission. Since Lucius can seemingly manipulate memories instead of killing Damnatio, what if he deleted part of Damnatio's memories to convince him to join his forces and fight the Clover Kingdom? I don't know about that because okay, if he manipulates memories, then what is the point of marks, right? Um, I'm not sure what he would have done with the Natio though, and if anything, this kind of lends to Mark's not being willfully involved with Lucius. Because if it was as simple as manipulating memories, he could have been like, hey, Marks, Donatio figured out something he shouldn't have, just erase his memories. Or else, yeah, that would have just happened by now, right? But it didn't. So I have to assume just off of what we have, Marks is just not, he's not involved like that, at least right now. As far as what's going on with Donatio, though, I don't want to say he's dead. I really don't. I don't think he killed him because his grimoire didn't dissipate. That was a whole stasis spell. It looked like that he put him in. So, without a sphere, of course, but yeah, I think he's just in stasis and they hit him somewhere. What are you guys saying in here? I don't know if it ever shows in the manga, but in the anime, Fauna has the same sun marking on the back of her grimoire as Lucius does on his head. Really? Let's look up Fauna from Black Clover. Let's see. We just want her grimoire, right? Let's see if it just shows it. So, is it the unaltered grimoire? Or the shared one? But also realize Eye of the Midnight Sun is also directly correlated to, like, the Tree of Death, too. So it would also make sense for it to be there. Do we have a squad that's got 2 vice captains? Yeah, might just have to look up her grimoire. It'll show on the wiki. Okay, let me take a look. Well, this is her grimoire right here. Missing something. Okay, before it's shared. Okay, so let's try to look at the wiki then. If I remember, hers is like her wiki is long because she's like 2 people. Okay, I just want. Let's look at her match. Oh well, maybe it'll show an appearance. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, nope, not there. Fauna summoned salamanders, Hackladros. That's when it was combined. When you're talking about when she was like a kid, then. Oh, here we go. Okay, so the original grimoire should be loading. Yeah, it's the Bloodstained one. Oh, there's just like a small sun on there. Very small. I've never looked at her original grimoire. So this is kind of new. For me. Oh, yeah, that is. Ooh, yeah, that is the same. And she's got, what's her healing spell? The Phoenix, right? So that could easily just like lend into something like the Phoenix rebirthing itself. That's really what a mage on a draconian path would do, is rebirth themselves. So that could go hand in hand. And honestly, Fauna is a character that should be looked at more in this saga, because the achievement of what I was saying earlier of alchemy, as far as achieving perfection, is separating the soul from the body and then reattaching it without death occurring. And we literally have 2 Faunas who are the same, have the same magic and everything. One is just a different species. This seems to be more towards what devils are trying to achieve. So yeah, that's a good catch. I've never seen her original grimoire, or never actually looked at it. So that's a good catch. Helix, nice. What else? I saw that. It'll show on the wiki. It's her grimoire before it's shared. Kingsman. I wonder if there's a connection between the Witch Queen and the first Heart Queen. That'd be an interesting connection, I guess. Yeah. In the anime, Yuno got most of the credit for the whole elf incident when it was a combined effort with him, Asta, Yami, Lit, and the first Wizard King. True. But what are you trying to say? Helix, William and Yami were both co-vice captain when they were... Really? I didn't know that. Okay. I wonder if Asta will get a diamond grimoire. I hope he won't. I hope his grimoire doesn't have an origin. But it would make sense to have a diamond, though. I see what you're getting at. Since, gets the spade and Clover, he gets the other... but why not a heart, But he was in the Heart Kingdom, why not? So yeah, I guess diamond would be the next best. And then that would go along with the Earth Spirit thing that everyone's been wanting. So, makes sense. Kingsman, elves better do something important this arc, because last arc they did nothing. True. Yeah, they didn't really do much. Yeah, I didn't like that either, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't. The fact that Raya and Veto and Fauna didn't show up, but the guy that doesn't have a grimoire or a way to fight at all joined. I don't know how that made sense, because Pachi was literally there for nothing. So they could have sent Raya and been okay. I don't know if that's a response too. Okay, so Shelly, you said we're going to go back to this. Layla, the angel. So you think Lucida could be this Layla person? Hebrew word for night. In the Talmud, word for night originates with an interpretation. Okay. This passage relating to Abraham's night attack on the kings of Sodom and Gomorrah reads, "And he divided himself against them by night, he and his servants, and smote them." So he got struck by God's lightning. And nights said a man-child is brought forth. Wait. Interprets this to mean that Abraham attacked with the help of an angel called the night. Okay. The name of the angel who is in charge of conception is Night, and she takes up a drop and places it in the presence of the Holy One. Blessed be he, saying, Sovereign of the universe. What shall be the fate of this drop? Shall it produce a strong man or a weak man, a wise man or a fool, a rich man or a poor man? According to this exposition, the only thing God is not asked to decide is whether the child will be righteous or wicked, allowing it to have free will. Very interesting. That's the part that I would be focused on right there. So this would imply that she's got a connection to God, though, which I don't think she would. Not directly, at least. But as far as allowing that child to have free will, that's exactly what Asta has. But now we have to think of it like this, though. The anti-magic allows for the ultimate free will, meaning that he can detach himself from fate and from reality as long as it's manipulated by magic. And in this universe, magic is that reality. So he's able to bypass things like that through anti-magic, in turn giving him free will. The angel of free will is Lucifer, but the source of his ability to have free will is Liebe. You know what I mean? So this could even be interpreted as a way to explain that Lucida also raised Liebe. So there's different things to look out for. But I'm kind of seeing what you're seeing. But where does it say? Because would she be an angel? Maybe. You know what? If we want to sell ourselves to the thought of Lucida being an angel, I think it would be very cool if she was. And the only reason I say that is because everyone's been hung up on the line of like, just because you're a devil doesn't mean you're evil. And we can easily try to assume that it's because her mate, who made Asta with her, was maybe a demon. But what if she's an angel? Angels and devils are aware of each other. So maybe she is an angel. And she's aware of the fact that not all devils are actually bad. And some of them actually do mean well. So I guess I can look at it like that. Okay, Shelley. Okay, Shelley. Okay, I want to read this part because I see something interesting. So, nevertheless, according to Elijah ben Solomon, the Hebrew noun Layla, or night, is feminine in its very essence, but has the unusual quality of dualism that combines the feminine with masculine character. So, this sounds like this has a lot to do with anima and animus sort of things, which is going to be interesting. In just a second, I'll explain. Night is... Did I skip a part? In the Zohar, comparison is made between Lael, the masculine noun, and Layla, which is the feminine noun of night, is used in reference to the Exodus to indicate the union which took place on that night between the masculine and feminine aspects and the divine attributes. So, they talk about it twice, or 3 times, masculine and feminine, being part of this dualistic quality. This is a psychological attribute of the anima and the animus, which are both. So one is the female with the masculine psyche, and the male with the female psyche. I explain that a lot in a thread on Twitter, but also on this dark psychology of the dark triad and Lucius. So that's very interesting. And a lot of people do connect her with Megicula. I know Broku, Minato, and maybe Buzzard, and myself have made or tried to make some connections between Lucida and Megicula. It's very interesting. But it all comes back to like devils existing in more places at once, and being different just entities at once. It's so hard to explain. But yeah, let me try and get back to this search though. Is there anywhere I should like particularly look? I mean, I don't. Maybe I'll try hashtag BC spoilers again, and then I'll just type in theory as a keyword. What are you guys seeing in here? Helix, you're responding to Kingsman. The fact water magic can weaken blood magic makes me think they do. They do what? I don't know. But yeah, as far as water magic and blood magic goes, I do have a running thought that Noelle gets what's called royal water, or Regia something, and it's an alchemy thing where it actually dissolves even the most perfect thing like gold or silver. So when we start getting these perfect bodies, Noelle might unlock that next level of I guess essentially becoming arcane. Like, is not arcane by nature, but has a spell that is arcane. Something like that. Aqua Regia is what it's called. But yeah, it'll break it down, and especially blood magic, I feel like. Shelley, it does give me Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland vibes when you mention the Witch Queen and Heart Queen. Um, Leon, Asta has promoted under you now for doing as much work as him, as well as saving the kingdom. Yeah, okay, so yeah, you're saying he got the short end of the stick, and that's kind of commonplace for Asta. But I mean, compared to the where he started, this is groundbreaking achievements that he's making. So, and even just the acknowledgement of Fuegolian in the presence of all the other captains saying that he should be awarded a higher rank means that he's pretty much succeeded in his goal at the core of the issue. Now it's just making the rest of the population believers. I feel like Angels and Black Clover will be very dark and will be worse than Devils. I kind of agree. Angels are supposed to be terrifying. They're supposed to be warriors. They're supposed to be kind of douchey. And almost robotic in nature. And I say that in a way of like they kind of lack these feelings. They do their jobs. They're jobbers. And that's all they do. Yeah. The reason Asta isn't the same rank is because of the judicial system and the public stigma on the right. Exactly. Okay, I'm going to go through a few of these. So Michael has a theory, maybe? Oh no, he's asking what the theories are. Out of all the theories he made about Lucius, would do with the heart, I don't think anyone mentioned that he would eat it. I think a few people have definitely mentioned that he would eat it. I was not one of those people. I'll say that all the theories of Black Clover fans are really cool, no matter how true or wrong. And finally, okay. Okay. So Code Zero and I came up with a theory. What did you guys come up with? I don't think I know this person. So they should be cool. Do I know this person? I don't. Okay. So so we noticed that Lucius is missing 3 of the rays of the sun, right? We think that it's from the number of people he's captured. Julius, Damnatio, and Lucius. Interesting. I think that he's taking out the people who will get in his way. Okay, so okay. I don't know. Because then, like, what are you implying that his power is, right? Because then that means he can only kill, like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more people. I don't know about that. I think it's got to flesh it out a bit more. Imagine how crazy it is that Lucius can acquire magic by eating the heart. Currently, he has mind transformation magic, gravity magic, and probably spatial magic as well. Yeah, he's just the be-all, end-all. He's gonna ruin everything for everyone. I see some chats in here. Broku, yeah, I thought he was gonna split the heart and eat half of it with a Dramalek. Yeah, I never thought a Dramalek would touch the heart at all. But yeah, after reading Hungry Joker and then seeing those theories, it made me start thinking it, but I never like went on record and was like, yeah, he's gonna eat it for sure. But the fact that he did eat it, just Hungry Joker all the way. I'm just hoping that he took a singular bite, but I'm pretty sure he ate the whole thing. Okay. So now imagine if this theory actually became true, though. Would love to see more of a vital role for Sister... Oh, boy, here we go. Sister Lily theory. What if Sister Lily is not just a normal side character? She's not. That was explained by an elf, even, that she is not. So I'm sure there's a purpose why she was sent to that church. What if she was an ally of Lucius this whole time? What if Lucius sent her to the church to take care of Asta so that in the future he will use him as a weapon to kill... Okay, so that part did happen. That is not a theory. He used Asta to meet an end, which was to down Lucifero so that he can obtain his heart. So that is a fact and not a theory. I'm sure there's another plot twist to come. Tabata's hiding something. Imagine if she was the one who placed the book into the wall, the fifth leaf. Okay. I'm kind of down with evil Lily theories. I'm just not sure about this one. Uh, like, why would she be the one to hide in the wall? Um, and then that would mean that she's linked up with Revchi somehow, and it would have had to been manipulated in some way to know that was going to go back to the door of the church to be depressed, or not church, but the Grimoire Tower, so that Revchi can find him, and so that Asta would be there to obtain. There's just so many moving pieces that Lily doesn't fit right there for me, at least. I don't know, but with time, I don't know. How do you just? I don't know. And then again, we just saw Lucius just like orchestrate this entire series, so easily could have. It could be that, I guess. It could be. That one's a little tough to follow for me, though. I think there's got to be more simple ways to include Lily. One of my thoughts, I think I've only talked about to Minato about this, was how the story of the Bible is actually reversed when you look at Asta. So, like, the Garden of Eden is where you start out as just man and woman, where they start out as, like, an entire family. And Lily is pretty much the matriarchy, whereas in the Garden of Eden, it's more of a patriarchy. As that's why Adam ended up with Eve, is because he wanted to be on top during sex, so it's a patriarchy. And then Garden of Eden was filled with life, brimming with life and food and sustenance, whereas where they're at is not. It's barren. It's a wasteland, forsaken, specifically. So, but in both, well, actually not in both. This is still parallel opposite. Garden of Eden, it was supposed to be the place of solace and complete peace, where they only found trouble in the end. Where in the Forsaken Realm, this is where Asta and Yuno were roughly their happiest. And the further away they got from that, the closer to devils they got. Whereas the closer to the Garden of Eden Adam and Eve were, the closer to even the devil they were. Kind of interesting. And it's even backwards when you look at it as far as the Divine Comedy from Dante Alighieri, where it seems as though they started out in a more or less paradise, and then moved to the capital, which is in the shape of Dante's Paradiso or Purgatorio, and then are slowly descending more and more into the Inferno. So it just seems backwards in all senses of it. So when you look at Lily and you think of Lilith, the demon, she kidnaps children and kills them. She lusts after, she causes men to lust after women, specifically her and Nama, and then also induces nightmares as well. Both of them do all of the above. Whereas Lily protects children, and she's holy. She does not lust after anyone. She does not allow people to lust after her. So she's the exact opposite of what the Lord tells us, and happens to be named Lily. So I'm not sure what's going to come of that. There's a Nurse in Hungry Joker that looks exactly like Lily, who becomes a demon, and I'm wondering if she could be turned into a devil, much like Lolo Pechka was, by Megicula, and become maybe the new stand-in Lilith. That might be cool. Who knows? But I think one thing that I'll hold on to is that energy does not just simply die. So we'll find a new Nama and a new Lilith. It's a part of a balance that can't be shifted. If it does, it means the end of the world. Oh, Shelly, this is you. I'm sorry that I forgot about putting BC4. Okay. Steampunk Theory that I posted. Were people, like, mad at you? Screw them. uh, I know this person, don't I? As Black Clover returns next, they're just asking about the theories. Don't ask about theories, make theories. Okay, Sister Lily is actually... Oh, I stopped. I'm so glad it didn't end there. I thought he was going to say she was Lucius. I was about to throw my computer. Sister Lily is actually Lucius's helper, but he manipulated her memories until then, or maybe something else. Okay. Simple manipulation of memories. I see. Everything is expected from its body. Reminder is not a requirement that this is true in the end. They're all just theories. Screw that. Die by this theory. And get mad at anyone who says otherwise. Yeah. Why are people so hung up on whether or not the clock theory is true? Like, does it matter at this point? Because it probably was. But, like, what does it change if it wasn't? You know what I mean? Time was obviously just manipulated anyway. Okay. And this is the same one that said that they were standing in the same place, right? Like, that Julius and Patri fought, which is wrong. They were not in the same place, M. Another theory, I think that Lucius reveal is going to be made by either Asta or Yami's key sensing method. See, that's what I was thinking as well. But, when was that made? July 25th? Oh, okay. So this is outdated. Because he's not guising himself as Julius at all. He's just Lucius, so that one's outdated. Another theory would be Lucius cast a time spell on Lucifero to prevent him from using gravity magic to regenerate or manifest in another vessel. What does that mean? Another theory would be Lucius cast a time spell on Lucifero to prevent him from using gravity magic to regenerate or manifest in another. I don't think that makes sense. Because he's got no healing capabilities with gravity. He's shown none. He's the only devil, along with Nama and Lilith. Well, not really Lilith, I guess. But Nama, for sure. That doesn't have a failsafe spell, or a way to apply his gravity to heal himself, right? Or another person. So, I don't agree with that part. The time thing... I mean, if anything, he would be in stasis, which would prevent him from using gravity magic, but I don't think even that's happening here. He just looks genuinely banged up. Wait, I didn't read the next part for some reason. Lucifero can control devils by thoughts alone, so I wonder if he created another vessel while Lucius... See, that's not what happened, though. Like... Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. So, like with Liebe, he was able to use him like a walkie-talkie, I guess. But he can't make a vessel out of it's not that simple, right? It took all of those devils to create a somewhat sufficient vessel for him. But yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just worded in a not great way. Yeah. But while we're on that, so just the sheer fact that Lucifero didn't walk out of the seal like Lilith and Nama did along with the Dremelech shows that what I've been saying is probably true, that those last three devils can't actually manifest below their realm without other measures being taken. Okay, Air, what do you got? Theory, I don't think he ate the heart just to gain gravity magic, especially since we've seen gravity magic beaten 3 times now. Well, it's not about that. You can apply it in different ways, like we saw with Dante with the Singularity. You're missing it. If anything, he needed a huge amount of magic power from whatever spell he's using. Yeah, definitely. for that part. But yeah, I think we just kind of missed the mark here. It's not just obtaining gravity magic. He can use things like singularities, manipulate cause and effects through higher amounts of gravity. And there's a garbage truck outside, so if you hear that, that's what that is. But I do want to look at this, though. And I wish Brood was in here, since he's one of the translators. But I want to put particular focus on this munching sound, because this first character doesn't make any sense, which is why I'm still kind of waiting on the officials to come out, because I'm not sure if that's an actual bite sound. The first character is katakana for dude, it sounds like I'm at war right now. This is like a special trash taking outing right now. Anyway, this character is ya, and these little markings that you see aside from them change the consonant sound, right? So for this one, the second one is ra, R-A. The two dashes make it da. And then this is ri, but it has a small character next to it, which shifts the sound a bit, makes it more fluid. So that is you, and so it's ryu. So without that first character, you get Dario. And that's not really a munching sound. So I'm really confused as to how we got to munch on that. So like I said, I'm going to definitely wait for the officials on that, because I'm not particularly sure if he actually ate that hard or not. Because, yeah, that first character, back to what I'm saying, the first character, when it comes to, like, there's ya, you, and yo. Those are the only Y sounds that you have, and they don't have any other tangents like the other characters do. So to have the markings next to it, I'm at least unfamiliar with it. So, hopefully someone is able to explain how we got to a munch sound. But, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Let's see. Could Lily be the actual first half demon? And because of her heritage, she decided to work and become a nun. Could she actually be a part of the... You mean like the Lilim and the Liliths? Maybe, but it doesn't fit her. Because she's protecting children and not lusting after men or causing men to lust after her. I do like the added in fact, that other theory that you're mentioning. That maybe some memory manipulation played a part of it. Could be. As we do see with people like Julius, he didn't even know who or what he was for a while. And that's why he saw in pottery. So the same could be the case for someone like Lily. Okay, Ollie, you got an out there theory? Let's read it. Notice in that Lucius and Lucifero in the ground panel that Lucius isn't using chronostasis to bind. It looks like Lucifero is being healed. He's healing him, but only his heart. So yeah, that's what I was saying towards the beginning, Ollie, was that I think it makes sense if it's working in like a Hungry Joker fashion, where they, like Heidi has an edible eureka. So once he bites it, the apple regenerates itself. So if this is maybe like the start of Eureka, and acts in a similar fashion, but doesn't or is incapable of healing itself, he can simply just reverse the time so that the heart is more intact, and so that he can use the heart later on for future use. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I hope... Oh, Leon. And why don't we know more about Nero's family? And we don't know anything about anybody's family, dude. Like, we need to know about Finral and Longrease's family a lot more, because they have spatial magic, and Longrease's magic is specifically archangel magic, as in the title, and Finral's is fallen angel magic, both derived from Beelzebub, who is both an archangel and a fallen angel. Very interesting, and it seems very purposeful, like they were getting on Finral's ass, because he didn't have an offensive type of spatial magic, which is why they held Longreach to such a high esteem, because he had a very potent and only spatial magic that we've seen like that. So it seems that these families more or less have been aligned with devils for a very long time. And that's what I want to know. That's what I truly do want to know. Okay. Look at the design on the floor in Lucifero's body. Looks like the one he used to save... Right, that's also what I was saying in the beginning. I think you missed, you said you missed the first hour. I was saying that as well. But yeah, he used that to reverse the time. And reverse the swords and all that stuff. So, definitely. I hope Charmy isn't working with Lucius. So, it's funny that you bring up Charmy. Because, I think it's very, very ominous now. Remember, in the Royal Knights exams, the prelims at least. Was it the prelims? I'm thinking of Naruto, bro. Come on. But no, Charmy snuck in there, and she was in her dwarf form, and Julius puts her on his lap and asks he holds her up first. He's like, Yami, is this your kid? You never told me you had a kid. It's kind of ominous now, just because, Charmy's got this wolf that eats all magic, right? So I think this is a relic from a past time, probably the last advent of Qliphoth. And this is more or less the Liebe of that time, where it can neg any magic it comes across. It just eats it all. And this is more of how I came up with the video and the theory of Asta being Yaldabaoth, the God Eater, or Liebe, Asta and or Liebe. But yeah, I think Charmy does play a role, because that wolf has to be Fenrir, has to be, or Shakti, the other wolf. But I just feel like it's going to get used against us, and it's been such this. It's just been like a lingering thing, that's just been in the back of everyone's head. Like, man, she's got this wolf sealed inside her grimoire that eats magic entirely. So, and it never really came into play in a major way. And this could be it. I was hoping the Spade arc would be, but now that I see that there's a much bigger picture being painted, I think more towards a Ragnarok type-ish instead of Advent of Qliphoth might work better here. I don't know if she'll give it to Rill, or even herself. That's funny. And during her trial, Donatio said they couldn't find record of her birth. Oh, yeah, that is true, huh? Is it? I don't remember that. But that would make sense. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I got a lot to say. I'm trying not to go on other tangents, but yeah. Besides the first Wizard King vouching for Nero's life is kind of suspect. I mean, she slept for 500 years. Right. So that's kind of what I was mentioning earlier as well. There's this kind of thought going around the community that Lucius could have been all of the Wizard Kings. And if that's true, then Lumiere is part of that. And if Lumiere is part of that, and Sekre comes to find that out, knowing how really in love she was with Lumiere, she could easily end up siding with Lucius, and Lucius could probably find some value in her magic, just like Lumiere did. Kind of what turned her on to Lumiere. So there is that to think about. But I hope I mentioned that Charmy will be... Yeah, I don't think it'll be Charmy so much betraying them as more than it would be the wolf breaking free due to Lucius's intervention. My personal thought. Just like how I was saying he could kill Asta to separate the swords and Liebe from him. I think something like that could happen. think I'll read a few more. All the people, two personalities, one soul theories were correct. Yeah. Okay. Oh wait, we just read that. My theory on Marion was wrong. What? Who's Marion? Okay. Weird. Renz, we know Renz. My theory is he is going to get all three rulers. Oh, come on. That's basic. That's easy. Of course he is. We saw that coming 3 months away. Based on what I'm seeing, theory specifically, what if Sister Lily dies, then later gets revealed as a traitor? Like, doing what? She literally defended helpless children when elves were attacking. Like, if she was a traitor, it would have shown by now. At least. Right? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Right here. Oh, the daughter of Lucius and... Ooh. See, that's a much better theory. I like this. Because that would be cool. She would be nothing like her mom, but explains where she gets water. Oh, and water is essentially like the building block to life. Like on other planets and stuff. Like, you need water. So, like, biased, but leading into, like, the DNA magic, maybe? I don't know. But, yeah, I do like this theory. We would just need a better grasp on what Lucius's innate magic would be. Very, very interesting. Okay. But, I mean, where is he sticking it? You know what I mean? Like, in there? That's not a hole, I don't think. And to be more nitpicky about this theory, if we're following strictly lore, devils cannot birth anything. Especially the Liliths and the Lilims. They cannot birth anything. In fact, the lengths they go to create something is so not only inconvenient but unrealistic that it just is not feasible. But essentially, they would have to steal sperm from the male, give it to a woman who's fertile, and then somehow take that baby before being born, and then they would birth it somehow. It's the weirdest thing, but it just isn't. Yeah, it really isn't feasible. But we never know about it. He could easily just include that. My theory is that since Lucius has consumed Lucifero's heart and eventually will be facing off against Asta, if he ends up on the losing side and is nearing his end, Lucifero might Nah, we don't want that. We don't want that. Sorry, guy. I think the community has had enough of Lucifero. Is there room for him to come back? Yeah, I don't think it's impossible, but I think we can do more. We can do more and better. Okay. Maybe this will be the last theory I read. I'll read the rest of your comments, and then I gotta go. It's time to start a very long party weekend. We got boat first thing in the morning. Right after that, we're gonna be going to our dinner. Very nice spot. And then we're gonna go bowling at a bar. Got that lane reserved. I have to reserve that, excuse me. That'll be at 11. And then I've got our last two games on Sunday for the tournament, which are like first thing in the morning. So I'll be on no sleep, but I think I can bear it. You know, since it's the last games. Then it's our squad outing for after the tournament. And then I'm done for the weekend. Got 2 weeks off. And then all the students will be back in school, so that's when work starts. So yeah, we're gonna have to start here pretty soon. Okay, so is this a theory? Okay, so theory for the next chapter / chapters. Yuno was said to be on a mission, but according to leaks, we still don't know which one. And well, yeah, we do. So I won't read this. Okay, I got another crazy theory. Okay, Zephyr is me. About Lily Aquaria, the nun from Hodge. Do you know that maybe Lily's name is hiding a big spoiler for Black Clover? No, if you have yet to read the other theory about Undine, please visit this. Oh, maybe I came across this, because, yeah. I remember someone making this connection to Undine and Lily. But her last name is Aquaria, which is very close to Aquarius. And this, going back to the video I made about the Aeons, how there's like the Aeons of Horus, Aeons of Isis, Aeon of Set. This coming to age, so like the age of information, we're actually in this right now, is called the Age of Aquarius. But very small age in between this, or the Age of Aquarius, the Aeon of Horus. But there's a very small age that happens in this cycle, always before the Age of Horus, or the Age of Aquarius, and it's the Age of Lucifer, but also known as the Age of the Age of, it's a Greek one. It's either Phosphorus, Hesperus, or Vesper. I think it's the Age of Vesper. And we're currently in that right now, heading into the Age of Aquarius. But it is more than likely that that's the age that they're in the series as well, which will lead into science. I have one not confirmed theory about Undine of the Heart Kingdom. What if Undine that appears so far in the manga and anime is not... Oh, I remember this theory, and I really liked it, because they have... She's the only one that is not... No. What was my train of thought back then? Let's read the rest. Maybe it'll come back to me. Because, yeah, they call her Water Spirit. They don't... Wait, no, stop. Let me just read it, and I gotta come back to it. Because it's something about the way they name her and the way they reference her, where more than likely, it does draw a good point. Here we go. Do you ever wonder about why the Water Spirit's magic spells name don't have Undine as the word in it, even though Salamander and Sylph have it, except for in Spirit Dive. Salamander has Salamander's breath, Salamander's claw talons, Sylph has Sylph's breath, but Undine's is Ludic Sanctuary, right? Okay, when Gadja told Asta's group about the Heart Kingdom's history, the panel shows a statue. But the odd thing is that the statue didn't have any resemblance to Undine. Okay. I think it kind... Oh, no. Okay, I see. You circled it and everything. This guy's on it. Okay. Yeah. It isn't her. That is true. Okay. So who is that? I also found the resemblance of the statue and Sylph, both humanoid and have pointed ears. Yeah. What if that was more so the Dryad? Or a depiction of the Dryad? Who knows? Even though in the Black Clover world, they said that the spirits develop over time with their hosts, Undine has not changed since she... Okay, they do explain that part, though. She's been passed from queen to queen. So that experience essentially would stay with her, just like the knowledge has. So here are the conclusions that Zephyr's come across. One, Undine that appears so far is not the true water spirit, which would be super dope, because that leaves room for Noelle to get one. Two, the being that statue is made after is the true Black Clover world's water spirit. Three, maybe the being that statue is made after is lending its power to Undine so she can lend power to the Heart Kingdom's queens. Then Lolo Petchka's spells names patterns are the same. You know that all Black Clover character spells have name patterns, right? Which they do. Okay, Aquanel Lore, those are the characters. Ludic Sanctuary. True. Okay. So this is the part of the theory I don't like. I've never seen this part. But it's hard to... You can't compare something against something that doesn't exist yet, right? So while, yeah, these would be the characters for, like, the Aqua, but this is Ludic. We just haven't, like, even by this own theory, they are more than implying that we have just never seen the actual water spirit. So we can't truly say that these comparisons make sense. Uh, yeah, then he kind of goes on a tangent there. Okay, so that was pretty much the gist of that theory. Um, thinks that Noelle will get another attribute. I don't think so. I hope she doesn't. Uh, yeah, okay. Noelle with moon, Noelle with Ciel and moon magic could be a good duo. I agree on that. Yeah, okay, but yeah, I think that's an interesting theory. As far as Undine not being the actual water spirit, very cool theory. It's a good thought. Very well observed. Um, just not too sure about the characters. You know, we're actually comparing something that doesn't exist to something that does exist. Um, so it's tough to say on that. Your theory's coming true. The current status of Astaroth, the Time Devil. Astaroth is already dead, in my opinion. Is it coming true, though? Because I feel like Julius is Astaroth. But yeah, one more from M. Redeem yourself. My theory is that Donatio is now the inheritor of Lucius. Okay, we're done. Okay, so I'll read the rest of your comments. I feel Lucius and Julius are inspired by Dionysus, Zagreus in Greek mythology, so I personally think Lucius made himself or made Zagreus. So, interestingly enough, I've looked into Zagreus and tried my best to relate him to Zagreus for a very long time, and it just doesn't work out that well. And the only thing that really points Zagreus to Zagreus, the only thing they have in common, is the lightning trident that Zagreus uses once. And that's it. Other than that, Zagreus is completely unique. And I've got several threads on Zagreus that could explain some more realistic origins that, and I really don't think he's going to align with many Greek gods, or even Roman ones for that matter. As far as Dionysus goes, Dionysus is actually attributed directly to Lucifer. So, yeah. That, Tage, I have the theory that Lucius is Adam, and him... okay, gotcha. He wants to rebuild humanity. That's a good thought. I always had the thought that Xenon could have been Adam, or Asta could have been Adam, but I think it would make more sense if Lucius was Adam. So I like that thought. That's cool. Shelley, or maybe Lucius will kill Lily to make Asta go to despair to destroy Clover Kingdom. Oh, so I kind of went on a rant about this, I think, in Josuke's podcast in the chat, where, like, there's literally no point to Asta despairing, like, at all. Because the already Grimoire... The Grimoire is a product of despair already, and it actually chose him. So, if he despaired, it's not like it's going to turn into a 5-leaf. It's already a 5-leaf. If we're suggesting a 6-leaf comes, I don't know, I guess. But there's no real big point to making Asta despair, really. There really isn't. He'd be better off killing Lily so that Yuno despairs. So that the spirit inside of him, since the spirit is the one that is attached to the 4-leaf, makes it a 5-leaf, so that later on maybe Lucius can use Yuno. I think that's the better route and more logical one, because Asta already has that despair grimoire thing going on. Without Zagreus, we wouldn't have the role of Wizard King, Asta's grimoire, Julius' ship. Right. I think Lucius absolutely did manipulate everything about that. I just don't think Zagreus is like Zagreus or Dionysus, because, like I said, Dionysus is attributed directly to Lucifer, which Zagreus would not be. Which sport am I playing? I'm not playing. I coach lacrosse. I will be playing lacrosse pretty soon, though. I did join a league. Goal, what's going on, my guy? I'm super glad we're back with BC. I'm going on like my 3rd hour on this. Helix Heart Kingdom is just sus. How's a queen gonna be the founder of a king? Jesus, that was sexist. But the Heart Kingdom is sus. More so, Lolopechka is sus. I will stand by that until I'm hardcore proven wrong. But she was just too tight with Julius. The whole not letting anybody know that Vonica and the Triad were out there until it was too late. No, I don't fuck with that at all. So she's sus. She's sus or stupid. One of them. But yeah, I think I'm gonna have to end it here. Like I said, I really gotta go. We start our party tonight, so gotta go. I also gotta get a tire for my truck. I got a flat. But yeah, it was nice talking to you guys. I will try to go live again with something a bit more specific. And I do have something super, super exciting in the works. It's like a 3 to 5 second thing. But I'm just excited to see how it turns out. So definitely be waiting for the next video because it'll be in that. I'll probably post it on Twitter as well. We'll see. But my man's is working on it right now. So we'll get it rolling. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys that stuck around for this entire time. I have a hard time listening to myself for this long anyway. So wish me luck this weekend. I probably won't be online too much. So you guys make sure you keep the theory community in check. Make sure people are doing the who's, what's, when's, and why's and going back through the series. You can't just make an on-the-spur theory and then be like, yeah, that's it. No. We need the A, B's, and C's all the way down to the Z. All right? We need the entire theory to make sense. Supporting evidence and everything. Anyway, this has been Jack Oates to go, guys. Thank you again.